It was a Friday night, July 25th, 2025. The kind of warm summer evening that feels full of possibility. For Jessica Miller, a 28-year-old graphic designer with a smile that could light up a room, it certainly felt that way. She was vibrant, creative, and adored by her friends and family. Jessica had recently moved to the bustling city, hoping for a fresh start after a tough breakup. She was building a new life, one brushstroke at a time. And tonight, she had a date she was genuinely excited about, a feeling she hadn't had in a long, long time. It felt like a turning point, a step back into the world of romance. Her best friend Sarah remembers their last conversation vividly. She was buzzing, Sarah told us, her voice soft with memory. She showed me his picture, this guy, Tyler Greene. He looked normal, you know, handsome with this kind, disarming smile. Jessica had met him on a popular dating app, and they had been talking for weeks. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to understand her artistic soul. They talked about hiking trails, shared favorite songs, and planned future adventures. To Jessica, it felt like she had finally found someone who just got her. The connection felt real, substantial, and full of promise. Jessica spent the afternoon carefully picking out her outfit, a blue floral dress, one that brought out the color of her eyes. She sent a selfie to Sarah, captioning it, "Wish me luck." There was an infectious optimism in that message, a pure, hopeful energy that makes what happened next all the more heartbreaking. She was just a young woman, looking for love in the modern world, navigating the digital landscape like so many others. She was smart, cautious, and had told her friend all the details of her date. The restaurant, the time, his name. She had done everything right. But in the world of online dating, things are not always as they seem. Behind the curated profiles and charming messages, a different reality can lurk, a reality that is cold, calculated, and dangerous. For Jessica Miller, her hopeful evening was about to take a turn into an abyss of uncertainty, a mystery that would grip her community and leave her loved ones suspended in a state of unending anguish. A story that serves as a chilling reminder of the shadows that can hide behind a handsome smile and a well-crafted digital persona. The restaurant was called The Gilded Spoon, a cozy, upscale bistro known for its warm lighting and intimate atmosphere. The perfect spot for a first date. Jessica arrived right on time, a little after 7. The bartender, a man named Leo, remembered her well. She came in alone, had this bright energy about her. She ordered a glass of wine and sat near the window, waiting, he recalled. She kept checking her phone, smiling. You could tell she was excited, a little nervous, but in a good way. She was a picture of anticipation, a scene playing out in countless restaurants every single night. Her date, the man calling himself Tyler Greene, arrived about 10 minutes later. Leo described him as unremarkable but polite. He was average height, brown hair, dressed nicely, nothing that would make you look twice. The couple seemed to hit it off immediately. Their conversation flowed easily, punctuated by laughter. They shared an appetizer and talked for nearly 2 hours. From the outside, it looked like a perfect date, two people connecting, building a potential future. But even then, Leo noticed something slightly off. He barely touched his food, Leo said. And his eyes, they were always scanning the room, not like he was nervous, more like he was cataloging it. As the evening wound down, Tyler paid the bill in cash. No credit card, no digital trail. He helped Jessica with her coat, a gentlemanly gesture. They walked out of the Gilded Spoon and into the cool night air, just after 9 o'clock. Surveillance footage from a camera across the street captured them for a fleeting moment. They were strolling down the sidewalk, not holding hands but walking closely. Jessica was gesturing, telling a story, and he was looking at her, nodding. It was the last time anyone would see Jessica Miller. The final, grainy image of a woman on the edge of disappearing forever. What happened in the moments after they walked out of the camera's frame is a black hole in the timeline. A void that investigators have tried desperately to fill. Did they get into a car? Did they walk to a nearby park? Every theory leads to a dead end. Her best friend Sarah received a text from Jessica's phone at 9:47 p.m. It was a single word, home, but something about it felt wrong. Jessica always used emojis, always used more words. It was too blunt, too cold. It wasn't her. It was the first sign that the perfect date had dissolved into a perfect nightmare. The next morning, panic began to set in. Jessica, who was always punctual and responsive, didn't show up for a planned coffee date with Sarah. Calls to her phone went straight to voicemail. A knot of dread tightened in Sarah's stomach. By noon, she and Jessica's parents had contacted the police. When officers performed a welfare check at Jessica's apartment, they found the door unlocked. The scene inside was unsettling, not because of what was there, but because of what wasn't. There were no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, everything was neat, almost sterile. But something was profoundly wrong. On the kitchen counter, police found 3 chilling clues, laid out with an almost deliberate theatrical precision. First there was Jessica's phone, wiped clean, factory reset. A digital ghost. Next to it was her jacket, the one she had worn on her date. And beside the jacket lay the most disturbing item of all, a single Polaroid photograph. It was a picture of Jessica, asleep in her own bed. The photo was time-stamped from that very morning, just a few hours before the police arrived. The implication was terrifying. Someone had been in her apartment, watched her sleep, and then vanished with her, leaving behind these tokens of their intrusion. The investigation launched into a frantic search for both Jessica and the enigmatic Tyler Greene. But Tyler Greene didn't exist. The dating profile was a fake, built with stock photos and a fabricated backstory. The phone number he used was a burner. He had paid for dinner in cash. He was a ghost, a digital phantom, who had materialized just long enough to ensnare Jessica before disappearing back into the ether. The police were chasing a shadow, a man with no name, no history, and no digital footprint. It was as if he had never been there at all. The community was shaken to its core. Flyers with Jessica's smiling face were plastered on every telephone pole and storefront window. Volunteers organized search parties, combing through local parks and wooded areas, their hope dwindling with each passing day. The story dominated the local news, a cautionary tale that sent a ripple of fear through the city's single population. How could someone vanish so completely? How could a man orchestrate such a flawless abduction, leaving behind only a few cryptic clues designed to taunt and terrify? The silence that followed was deafening, a hollow space where Jessica used to be. As days turned into weeks, the investigation into Jessica's disappearance uncovered a disturbing pattern. Detectives in neighboring cities began to connect the dots. 2 other women had gone missing under eerily similar circumstances over the past year. Both had been on dates with men they met online, men with different names but a similar description and method. This wasn't a one-time crime. It was the work of a phantom predator who hunted in the digital world. He was meticulous, patient, and left almost nothing behind. The case of Jessica Miller was now part of a much larger, more terrifying puzzle. Then a breakthrough. A woman from a nearby state came forward. She had survived. She told investigators a harrowing story of a date with a man named Mark who matched Tyler's description. He had been charming, but she felt a strange, predatory vibe. She had cut the date short, trusting her intuition. Later that night, someone had tried to break into her apartment. She had scared them off, never realizing how close she had come to danger until she saw Jessica's story on the news. Her testimony provided a crucial piece of the puzzle. This predator wasn't invincible, he could be outsmarted, but he was also escalating. For Jessica's family, the ordeal has been a living hell. Her parents, David and Carol Miller, have become reluctant public figures, their faces etched with a grief that never subsides. "We just want our daughter back," David said in a press conference, his voice breaking. "Every day we wake up and for a split second we forget. And then it all comes rushing back. The not knowing is the worst part. It's a torture that never ends." The community has rallied around them, holding vigils and maintaining a constant stream of awareness, refusing to let Jessica's memory fade into a cold case file. Today, on July 25, 2025, exactly 1 year after she disappeared, the mystery of what happened to Jessica Miller remains unsolved. The man known as Tyler Greene has never been identified. Did he have other victims? Is he still out there, scrolling through profiles, crafting a new identity for his next target? These questions haunt investigators and hang heavy in the air. Jessica's story is a tragic chapter in the modern age of dating, a stark warning that the person on the other side of the screen may not be who they seem. The search for Jessica and for justice continues. And until there are answers, her loved ones are left to wait, caught in an unbearable limbo of hope and despair. As the days drag on, the silence surrounding Jessica's disappearance is pierced only by the voices of those who glimpse the shadows she left behind. Witness Statement 1. A neighbor, voice trembling. "I saw Jessica that night. She seemed nervous, kept looking over her shoulder." Witness Statement 2. A close friend, barely above a whisper. "Jessica told me she was being followed. She wouldn't say by who." Police transcript. Detective steady and calm. Did Jessica mention any threats? Friend, hesitating. She said someone was watching her apartment. Unsettling evidence. A torn piece of Jessica's diary was found near the riverbank, the last entry reading, "If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident." Each detail adds to the growing unease, painting a picture of a young woman trapped in fear, her every step shadowed by an unseen presence. The tension builds as more fragments of her story come to light, but the truth remains just out of reach. For Jessica's family, friends, and the entire community, the search for answers is a journey through darkness, guided only by the faint, haunting echoes of her final days. Police transcript. Operator, voice steady but tense. 911, what's your emergency? Unknown caller, distorted and cold. You won't find her, not alive. Unsettling evidence. A grainy security camera clip flickers on screen, timestamped 3:17 a.m. A shadowy figure slips out of Jessica's building, their face hidden beneath a hood. The street is empty, silent, the figure vanishing into the night. Open-ended mystery. Despite tireless efforts, exhaustive searches, and desperate hopes, Jessica's fate remains a mystery. The case grows colder with each passing day, but the community cannot rest. Whispers of fear and speculation fill the void. Was it someone she trusted or a stranger stalking the darkness? The truth slips ever further away, leaving only chilling possibilities and the echo of a final haunting call. Subtle typing sounds. As the investigation drags on, cracks begin to show in the stories of those closest to Jessica. Friends' once solid alibis start to unravel under renewed scrutiny. A neighbor, previously overlooked, is caught on a newly discovered security feed, loitering near Jessica's door minutes before her disappearance. Tension builds. In a tense interview, Jessica's ex-boyfriend hesitates, his eyes darting to the floor as detectives press him about a late-night call he never mentioned. The community's suspicion grows, turning neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend. Emotional close-ups. Jessica's mother clings to hope, her voice breaking as she pleads for the truth. The line between victim and suspect blurs, and the once quiet town is now a web of secrets, lies, and heartbreak. The search for Jessica is no longer just about finding her, it's about exposing the darkness among them. Scene 8. The unveiling emotion. 5. Music. Dark, cinematic, dramatic, heartfelt. Heartbeat sound. A breakthrough arrives when digital forensics uncovers a deleted message on Jessica's phone. "Meet me at the old pier, no one can know." Investigators race to the location, finding a hidden compartment beneath the rotting boards. Inside, Jessica's locket, her diary, and most chillingly, a USB drive labeled "Confession." Revelations unfold. The drive contains video footage, Jessica, frightened but determined, confronting someone she knew. The shadowy figure steps into the light. It's her best friend Emily, her face twisted with guilt and desperation. Emotional truth. The confrontation spirals out of control, revealing a tangled history of jealousy, betrayal, and secrets that festered beneath their friendship. Emily's confession spills forth. Jessica had discovered a secret she was never meant to know. Scene 9, closure in the rain. Emotion. 5. Music. Somber, hopeful, orchestral, rainfall, and soft piano. The truth at last is laid bare. Emily, racked with remorse, leads police to a secluded woodland clearing where Jessica's fate is finally revealed. The community gathers, candles flickering in the rain, as Jessica's family is given answers and a chance to grieve. Resolution. The case that once divided them now brings the town together in shared sorrow and healing. The darkness that haunted their nights is dispelled by the light of truth, and Jessica's memory becomes a beacon of hope, reminding all that even in the deepest shadows, justice and compassion can prevail. Fade out. The final shot lingers on the rain-soaked memorial as the screen fades to black. Soft morning light, birdsong. As dawn breaks over the quiet town, the weight of the past weeks begins to lift. Jessica's story, once shrouded in secrecy and pain, now stands as a testament to the enduring power of truth. Montage of community neighbors who once eyed each other with suspicion now join hands, tending to a new community garden planted in Jessica's honor. Her mother, surrounded by friends and family, reads from Jessica's diary, a passage about forgiveness, hope, and the courage to speak out. Gentle voiceover. Though heartbreak lingers, healing has begun. Emily faces justice, but also receives help for the pain that led her astray. The town, forever changed, vows never to let silence and secrets fester again. Flickering candlelight. A scholarship is created in Jessica's name, supporting young women who dream of making a difference. Closing reflection. Jessica's memory lives on, not as a victim but as a spark that ignited change. Her voice, once nearly lost, now echoes in every act of kindness, every truth bravely spoken. The shadows have receded, replaced by a promise that even in the darkest nights hope endures, and together light prevails. Soft fade out. The final image, the garden in bloom, sunlight dancing on petals as the town moves forward, united, resilient, and forever changed.